Welcome to part 2 of our tribute to Greg Graffin of Bad Religion, who will be dead someday. We are paying our early respects by ranking all 17 Bad Religion albums from worst to best. In part 1, we discussed numbers 17 to 11. So if you missed it, check it out by clicking the link in the description below. So for the second part of the tribute, I'm joined once again by Rob from the local punk band Minor Setback. Rob is proven to be somewhat of a fan of Bad Religion, and their music has had an influence on the sound, as well as some of the songs mean a lot to you when you want to switch from like lighthearted punk rock, like you mentioned earlier, to something more angry and pissed off.
Yeah. So
this list is aptly named Bad Religion's Top 10 Albums.
How creative.
Yeah. As I said in the previous video, this is not an opinionated list. This is a factual ranking. So
you originally said scientific, and it kind of f***ed me up because I was like, what's the science behind it? But,
our research department has proven that last list, and they're done the same for this one right now. So if you guys are ready, coming in at number 10, we got True North from 2013. And this album is unrelentless melodic hardcore punk rock from start to finish. Really only slows down on like 2 songs. Out of 16 tracks, it's 35 minutes long. 2 songs, I would say, Hello Cruel World and Dharma the Bomb is really where it mellows out. But everything else is just nonstop pounding like punk rock. Favorite tracks on there, Robin Hood in Reverse. And I really like the song My Head is Full of Ghosts. There are a lot of moments that call back to their earlier stuff with the heavy anthems, the chunky guitars, and the contemplative lyrics. Heard that one? What do you think?
My favorite track on this one is either the title track or You. It's just angst at its finest.
It really sums up when you're mad. And they've actually finally wrote a song that just says, hey, you're mad? You. Like, that's what you need to do. You need to say that. So coming in at number 9 is Recipe for Hate from 1993. Now, I completely dropped the ball on realizing how good this album is when it first came out years ago when I heard it. Like, I'm going to say right now, I was wrong. I totally slept on this record. Now, this one continues with the melodic hardcore sound, but it blends like 90s alternative rock, which could be off-putting like it was to myself.
Yeah.
Did you hear it before?
Yeah, I've heard Recipe for Hate. Recipe for Hate, honestly, in my opinion, is easily top 5. I mean, it's not factually correct.
This
or
is
whatever
your opinion.
The hell.
Yeah, I got you.
But in my opinion, it's easily in the top 5, and it's because while they did stick to their roots, they did branch out, but they didn't branch out too much as they did in like No Substance and whatnot. Like, it wasn't like
it wasn't boring.
It wasn't too out there.
Yeah. Could you get songs like Man with a Mission, which open with that country western guitar slide? Then you get like a song like All Good Soldiers, which has like a harmonics they're dealing with the guitar, and it's like really bouncy and groovy bass lines, which at the end of the day, it sounds amazing. And then we get the songs you're talking about, like that make the album great, that they stick to their guns. American Jesus is on that album, which is as much of a classic as it is still relevant now. Great punk tracks also include the title track, Kerosene, Looking In, and Skyscraper. And even Eddie Vedder sings a verse on one of the songs. I think the song's called Watch It Die. So they've got a lot of things in this melting pot.
I'll be sure not to listen to that one.
Yeah. What is that one song there's one song that's popular and it's slow? It's Struck a Nerve. Yeah. This just, I gotta say it again, it's a really good album. So that's number 9. Coming at number 8, we got The Process of Belief from 2002, and this album is very important to their career because Mr. Brett rejoins the band. They return back to Epitaph Records, so this is kind of like their homecoming album. The debut of the young drummer I mentioned before, Brooks Wackerman, who successfully beat life back into the band, returns to the faster and energetic songwriting. I mean, like the first 3 songs are only 5 minutes long. We add them all up. Supersonic, Can't Stop It. And I think the last classic song they've written in their career is on that album, which is the song Sorrow. So it's a welcome return of the Graffin-Gurewitz writing partnership because they're considered like the Lennon-McCartney of like hardcore punk. What did you think of that record?
I enjoyed that record. I feel like that record is very much slept on because, especially me as well, I'm guilty of this. Sorrow is on that record.
Right.
And I can listen to Sorrow on repeat. I don't have to listen to the other 14, 15 songs on there.
Yeah. But yeah, listen to that album. And coming in at number 7, we got The Empire Strikes First from 2004. This is a very dark, politically charged record inspired by the 2003 Iraq War. Opening song Sinister Rouge is one of like their heaviest tracks of their career, with the fast guitars, drumming, and like the choir-like gospel backing vocals. Absolutely love that song. We get the track Los Angeles is Burning, which uses the LA fires as a metaphor for the burning sensationalism in the media. Other great songs on this album include All There Is, Let Them Eat War, and Beyond Electric Dreams, which goes more into like the experimental side of the band. Yeah, that album's like, really a bummer, but it's great at the same time. You were really invested in the George W. Bush politics at that time?
I didn't care as much as
they did.
Yeah, because
also at the same time you probably were really young in 2004 anyway, so politics wasn't like that concerning at that time, right?
No, not at all. To be honest, I was in, I think, first grade when 9/11 happened.
But now that all the years pass and we have, I guess, a new regime, as they call it, in office, I mean, take a listen to The Empire Strikes First, and there will be definitely seeds in that album that are relevant today. So yeah, coming in at number 6, we got How Could Hell Be Any Worse from 1982. That's their debut album. Shows that they weren't just a typical 80s LA hardcore band with their really progressive intellectual lyrics and their semi-complex instrumentation. Now, they were only 17 and 18 years old when this album came out at the time, but you got tracks like We're Only Gonna Die, which is like a fan favorite and is still like in their set list after all these years. Other songs include Voice of God is Government, Pity, Into the Night, which is one of my favorite, and of course, Armageddon, This Is Hell. So this album is like kind of like the building block for greater albums to come with this band in the future. And being that you're in an underground like punk rock band, like I would feel like this particular album would be the most influential to your band's sound.
Yeah, I mean, but as far as like underlying tones go in our music, there is some political stuff in there, here and there.
Yeah, I hear like musically this is the closest to what you guys sound, and even though it's like a basic version of what was to come, it's really, as you can see, why it's one of their top 10 albums. So here we are in the top 5. Coming in at number 5 is Stranger Than Fiction from 1994, and this is, I guess, considered their breakthrough album because punk rock went mainstream in 1994, and this is actually their only gold record. Another dark record for them, however, it isn't too political. Like songs are mostly about like human nature, like Individual and The Handshake. You got songs about love, like the song Infected, which I'm sure you've heard before. That's a big hit for them. And then you got songs about mortality, like Better Off Dead and Slumber. It also includes other classic songs too, like the title track and the timeless 21st Century Digital Boy. So this is their most popular album. I'm assuming you do know this one, then, right?
I do know this album. I was 8 years old. My father was
big into
jamming to 21st Century Digital Boy, and nothing else. That was the only song on the whole album that he had. So I had to venture off on my own, and eventually find like Infected, Hooray for Me, Slumber, all those tunes. Like, I'm a huge fan of Infected, but I also think it's because I'm a huge like bitch. Like, I love like love songs to like no extent. So I mean, but like you said, it's a timeless song. It's honestly a timeless album. I'm sure there's a reason why it's their only gold album.
All right, so now we're getting into the Battlefield masterpieces.
The nitty gritty.
Yes, these are like what the flawless records we're doing now. Coming at number 4 is Suffer, 1988. This is a groundbreaking record that inspired many third-wave punk rock bands. Fat Mike from NoFX claims it's the album that changed everything. Fast, intricate, yet cohesive and coherent hardcore punk at its finest, received several accolades from critics and music fanzines all over the world throughout the years. Album's only 25 minutes long, but contains classics like You Are the Government, Do What You Want, Best For You, got the title track, Pessimistic Lines, and every single track in between. What does this Sufferer mean to you?
Sounds like I gotta listen to it.
Oh, you haven't heard it before?
I only know the title track.
Okay, well, just multiply that by like 14, and that's pretty much what it's like, you know. Just a great record. So now here we go with the top three. So coming at number 3 is No Control from 1989. Now, everything that made Suffer great, they do it on here, except they do it even faster. So it's like Suffer on speed. That's apparent on tracks like Big Bang, and sometime I feel like he must have busted a hole in that snare drum as fast as Pete Flintstone was drumming to those songs. You got the song Change of Ideas that says a lot in only 55 seconds. Other phenomenal tracks are You, Automatic Man, the title track, and the concert favorite, I Want to Conquer the World. Another short album, 25 to 26 minutes, but heard it?
Yeah, now me being a commercialist piece of shit, I absolutely love I Want to Conquer the World and You. They're my two favorite tracks on this album. Like,
a lot of people say that those two songs is what pulled them into the band. Even thinking about that album, that gets me excited to hear it, you know. All right, coming at number 2, Generator from 1992. Oh, yeah. And this marks the beginning of them experimenting with darker alternative undertones in their punk rock sound. Great social commentary on war with songs like Atomic Garden and Heaven is Falling. Excellent melodic punk tracks like Too Much to Ask, Fertile Crescent, No Direction, and the classic title track, which they play live. The album even goes out on a high note with the catchy sing-along song Only Entertainment. 11 tracks, killer album. What do you say? I saw you got a little excited when I said that.
Generator is my second favorite Bad Religion song behind You.
Right.
And then it's Atomic Garden is right up there, and it's not even because of the digital production of it. It's because of the digital production of it and the fact that I got the opportunity to see both of those songs performed live.
Yeah.
And they just murder it. It sounds just like the album, and I have a huge respect for bands that can do that.
Generator, pick that up. So that means we're up to it. The number 1 album by Bad Religion is Against the Grain from 1990, and this is the beginning of their quintessential melodic hardcore sound, which defines who they are, but still maintains the rawness of their punk rock style. Everything that makes Generator great is on this album, but it came first, so it wins. From the classic lead guitar riffs from the opening track, Modern Man, when you hear that, one of them is shredding, as they say, and on that part. So perfect with the dense hardcore track, Anesthesia, to the great outro song, Walk Away, to every fucking song in between on this record is a gift to all of mankind. Operation Rescue, Faith Alone, the title track. As you can see, Bad Religion likes their title tracks. Entropy, so many incredible songs. This album just bleeds excellence. What do you think?
I can't comment on Against the Grain. Here's why.
All right.
It's not because I haven't heard the album. It's because I can't do it justice, honestly. Me commenting would just it up. The only thing I could say about it is that it took everything. It took the dark undertones. It took the hardcore punk. It took the alternative. It took the commercialism, all of it, and lumped it in the one album, and I can totally see why it's number 1.
Exactly. That's it. So, yes, this is the official list, so no point leaving your personal rankings in the comment section below because this was the correct ranking. But also, you guys out there, please let us know your thoughts and hit that like button as well. So, is there anything you want to say to Greg Graffin before he passes away, Rob? Give your eulogy for Greg Graffin right now.
If I could speak to Greg Graffin right now, wow.
I'm going to say, he's a staple in the punk rock community. And this is trite, but he will surely be missed.
I would definitely say that. I would also say that he is definitely one of the pioneers. And just an icon, a literal punk icon.
Yes, Greg Graffin, you are a punk icon to us all. And I guess what Rob is saying is the same thing I'm saying. When your life expires, it'll be a tragedy amongst the scene for all of us. So, what yo? That's what he says, right?
But until then,